Hi everyone, you're welcome to Kemafrik. My name is Kemi. In this video, you'll be learning how to make a welt pocket. Probably you will want to learn how to make a single welt or a double welt pocket like I have on this jacket. You're in the right place. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please do so. That will mean a lot to me, and give this video a thumbs up. So let's get right into it. First, you need to create a plan for your pocket, and I've marked mine out on paper so you can see it clearly. So determine the size of pocket you want to see. This right here is 1 inch by 5 inches, while the one above is half an inch by 5 inches. Okay, so this is exactly the shape of the pocket you get if you work with this measurement. Once you've marked out the size of pocket you want to create, draw a line across the center and triangles at the sides like so. So the triangles move about half an inch inward. So now I've recreated the size of my pocket and the midline on the fabric. So first you determine the position of the pocket you want to create, then draw out the size and the midline like you can see on this fabric. So here is my pocket bag. My pocket bag is about 14 inches long and 6 inches wide. So the pocket bag has to be at least 1 inch wider than the size of your pocket, so you can have about half an inch sewing allowance at the sides. Now I have recreated this my welt pocket plan on my pocket bag, and the next thing I'll be doing is to iron in my fusible interfacing. I'm making use of a soft paper stay here. Now I'll iron in the interfacing on the wrong side of my pocket bag, and I'll also do the same thing to the main fabric, which could be a top, jacket, or a pant. And now I'll just turn my clothes around and place the sticky part of my interfacing against the wrong side of the dress. And okay, let's just say it's a dress, okay? And then I'll iron it in. So I've done that here, and you can see that my lines are still obvious on the pocket bag, luckily for me, else you'll need to redraw it out just to make it more obvious. The next thing I'll be doing is to place my pocket bag on the pocket plan I have on my dress, and making sure that the lines of the plan align with each other. Okay, the main reason why you mark out on your dress or fabric is so you can position the pocket at exactly the point you want it to be. Now I'll pin these two together so they can remain stable while I sew. Okay, I forgot to mention that the pocket plan on the pocket bag is actually 1.5 inches below the top. Okay, so I have 1.5 inches above it. Once I'm done pinning, now I'll go ahead and sew this top line, making sure I stop at exactly the edge of my rectangle, and also this lower line here, making sure I also stop at exactly the edge of my rectangle. Yes, now I'm done sewing, and I've sewn the top and bottom of this rectangle. And the next thing I'll be doing is to open up this midline from one apex of the triangle to the other apex. The way I'll achieve that is to fold my rectangle like so and cut a tiny snip with my scissors so I can have an opening to put my scissors in. Okay, so now I'm going to cut till I get to the apex of this triangle, and then I'll cut the sides of the triangle, stopping at exactly the end of my stitch. And I'll do the same to the other leg of the triangle, and the same on the other side. Once that is done, I will turn in the entire pocket bag through this opening and proceed to give the opening a good press. Here is what we have so far. I've ironed in my seam, and this is what it looks like on the wrong side. I have done the same thing on another piece of cloth, so I can show you how to create both the single welt and the double welt pocket. Now for the single welt pocket, I'll put a notch at the top of my pocket opening just to guide me at where exactly to stop or to end my fold. Next, I'll pull the lower part of the pocket bag over the opening like so, making sure that the fold ends at the notch I just created. So I'll need to press it in with a pressing iron to keep it in place before sewing. So you can see what we have at the front of my fabric. Now I'm done ironing in the fold, and this just helps it stay in place while I sew. Okay, so now just lift up that side seam allowance. Remember the 1/2 inch side seam allowance we'll have on the pocket bag. So we're going to lift it up and sew in the triangle. So the triangle at the side of our pocket plan that we cut earlier on. So I'll sew that triangle on the pocket bag along the 1/2 inch seam allowance. Now I'm done with that. The next thing I'll be doing is to lift up my pocket bag over the top of my welt pocket and sew it onto that top seam allowance. So I'll sew along the seam, and that way we have closed up the top of the welt pocket. So once that top is sewn in, I'll sew the side seam by 1/2 inch and do the same thing on the other side. So I'll just lift up my main piece of cloth and sew along the side of the pocket bag. Now the side seam is sewn, and you can see we have a little bit of excess at the top there. So probably next time I'll just create my pocket plan 1 inch from the top of the pocket bag. Okay, so I just cut out about 1/2 inch away. So you can see a neatly finished pocket, and it just looks so cute. So it's 1 inch wide like we have planned. So I'll just set that aside so we can work on this, and I'll be showing you how to make a double welt pocket. So I'm sure you understand what we did up until this point. Instead of creating a notch at the top of this opening like we did for the single welt pocket, I'm marking the middle of this pocket opening and putting my notch right at the middle. Now I'll fold in the top of my pocket bag to cover half of the pocket opening. And note that I didn't include this allowance in here, so it's just the pocket bag. And I'll do the same thing at the lower part of the pocket bag. So I'll need to press this in with a pressing iron. So here it is. I've ironed in the fold. This is what we have on the inside, and we have this on the outside. You can see it looks good already. So like we did for the single welt pocket, we'll be sewing in the triangle, so the triangular cutout on the pocket bag. So along the 1/2 inch seam allowance at the base of the triangle here, I'll just join these two together. If you find this video helpful, kindly give this video a thumbs up, and if you're yet to subscribe to this channel, be sure to do that. Now I'm almost done, and I'll just raise up my pocket bag over the opening and sew by 1/2 inch, so like very close to the first seam I have in there. That's done. I can now proceed to sew my pocket bag along the side to close up the pocket. Well done guys for watching this far. So this is what we have: a single welt pocket and a double welt pocket. What we have on the inside, so if you'll be attaching the lining, you can finish off the raw edges with an overlocker. So this is it guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you're yet to subscribe, please do so right away. See you in the next video. Bye.